Good evening everyone and welcome to TTML Division 4. We are here for round 2 of the championship. It's season 3 as we take in the Bahrain Grand Prix from the Sakhir International Circuit. My name is James Haid. I'm going to be taking you through the stream as your lead commentator here tonight, and joining me in the commentary box, it's a welcoming, returning face. It's the Spanish magician himself. It is Mr. Paco Suarez. Paco, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, mate. Excited to be back. And in Division 4, you know, that it has always shown, you know, that it has good racing and good drivers. And can't wait to see this second round since last week. They raced in Australia, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep.
And I think it was a great start to the season. I watched the live stream after, which was a really good race. And probably drivers are going to do even better in Bahrain, so can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating, of course, to take you through what happened last week. It was King who took the win, Traxi second, Conti in third. What did that do to the standings? Well, King is in the lead in the championship on 30 points. Traxi in second on 25, with Conti in third on 20. Atlas Copo in fourth on 18, with Magnus in fifth on 17. 2 extra points, of course, awarded for the pole position. Glad to see you've chosen spectator mode, by the way. I was just going to hit you up with that. You didn't want to be going out on track. Licala in 6th on 14, with Luki in 7th on 13, Braywich in 8th on 12, Tekken in 9th on 11, and Cygate in 10th on 10 points. Looking further down the field, Jibby Storm, reigning Division 5, champion up in Division 4 this season in 11th on 9 points, Neymar in 12th on 8, Vapor Damon in 13th on 7, Mac Maverick in 14th on 1 point, that was awarded because of his fastest lap, Maximus, Florian, Storm, Khan, Ham and Ryan not scoring any points. Looking at the constructors as well, of course, very tight at the opening round of the season. AlphaTauri leading on 40 points, with Williams in second on 38, Ferrari in third on 35, McLaren in fourth on 28, Alfa Romeo in fifth on 20, Racing Points in sixth on 14, Renault in seventh on 12, Mercedes in eighth on 7, Red Bull in ninth on 1, courtesy of Mac Maverick's point, and Haas in 10th on 0 points. And looking, of course, at the last race, King made it such a dominant debut, I think, last time out in Australia. Can he continue that good reign of form coming into tonight, or can Traxi and Conti be his nearest pursuers?
It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, Bahrain is such, I wouldn't say difficult track, because probably the most tricky part of the track is the double left-handed, in which it's easy to lock up the tires. But I think we're going to see a really close race. I think we're going to see good overtakes. Probably we're going to see a lot of action. So can't wait, really. I have to say, from what I remember from Conti and what I've seen in the previous season, I think he has matured a lot as a driver. So despite, you know, finishing third last week, I think he can do really, really well today.
Yeah, I think Conti has matured a lot, of course, as a racer, not only as a commentator as well, because he joins Aidan Carter as a commentary duo on Thursday nights in Division 3 as well, so it's fantastic to see him getting involved in that respect. Coming into tonight, though, Conti, of course, is, third in the standings? He's on 20 points, he's in the McLaren Honda, of course. They're going to be making sure that their Mercedes partnership goes forward in 2021. Both Ferraris, though, were quite consistent. Atlas got a really, really good race in the end. Magnus dropped down because of a bit of contact, if I'm not mistaken, and the Ferraris will be looking to try and gain in terms of the constructors. They were the most consistent team, I think, of week 1. But, looking at the track in question, of course, it is Bahrain. And we will take you through, that is the wrong track map, there is the right track map, 29 laps awaiting these drivers, of course, out on track. There's 3 tyres compounds of the C2, C3, C4, softs, mediums and hards to you and me. 5.4 kilometres in length around the Bahrain International Circuit, and whatever your opinion may be of Bahrain, it is here to stay on the calendar for the foreseeable future. They're not paying us enough money, I think, to broadcast this live from the track, but we're just stuck in our houses because of lockdown. Anyways, we better get going into us qualifying out on track here in Bahrain. And Paco, my thoughts turn to you. What can we expect in qualifying here tonight?
Well, probably drivers. I think there are going to be some who are going to try the first runs on mediums. But they'll have to be really, really careful in their soft stint to not use that much their tires. And probably we're going to see lots of mistakes. This is a really technical track in which locking up it's pretty easy to do. And the more marginal mistake that you can make, it's going to cost you a lot. So I think it's going to be quite interesting to see how drivers approach this qualifying, and I think it's going to be pretty close.
It is going to be very close. If it's anything like Division 1, where we had the top 18 separated by 9/10 of a second, then it is going to be an amazing race, of course. We're under the bright night lights here, of course. The Duel of the Desert possibly about to begin here in Division 4. And it's going to be fascinating to see, of course, how these got on. If we are not to your liking, though, you can join James Boyle on the Division 5 stream. I'm sure he's about to go live or is live right now. So go and show him some love as well for Division 5. And he's going to be taking you through the action, of course, for the foreseeable future in that season. But we are here in qualifying. First cars are about to leave as IFR Alpha, one of the reserves, has just joined in the Dane for the IFR team, of course, who I mentioned about their colour scheme, and then they followed me on Twitter straight after the race. That's absolutely amazing that I get that sort of response from commentary. They must be watching, honestly, their guys out on track. But it is a returning face of NSR Pariah out first. Pariah really quick back in the day. I remember Silverstone when you and me covered him in Division 5. It was just amazing performance back in the day in Britain. Can he return to that sort of form? The big difference is he was on controller back a year and a half ago when we last saw him out on track. He's now on pedal and wheels. He's surely got to be quicker.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's always, the big debate in the community whether pad or wheel is faster, but I have to say as a wheel user that the wheel gives you that extra confidence, of being able to feel the car. And I wouldn't say which one is faster, but definitely I would say that the wheel gives you more confidence. So let's hope that that can give Pariah the speed, that it seems like he has lost in the last few races.
Yeah, I think honestly the problem with sim racing is you're always going to get those that are on a pad like me commentating on a pad like me. And then you get the guys who are just wanting to go. But I think with this all esports genre that we have, we are seeing more and more drivers start to transition over to the wheel, and it just makes that a bit competitive playing field going forward in all leagues, I think, including TTML. We're about to go on board, though, with Pariah as he now starts up his lap. Will reach in excess of 200 mile an hour as he comes down in towards turn 1, or reaching past 200 mile an hour as he now runs down the straight. 208 down into the braking zone of turn 1, looking very nice on the turn in there. Now through turn 2, and then on the tricky through turn 3, as he now comes up, slight rise up the hill through turn 3, and now up the hill once again towards turn 4. We're not going on the short circuit, it is the natural Bahrain Grand Prix circuit that we are racing over tonight. As now we come through this tricky S section, you get caught on the curb through here, it will fling you off through 5, 6, 7, 27.7 through the first sector for Pariah out on track, and the Norwegian for the NSR team now running wide turn 8. Now up the slight rise towards this tricky left-hander that you mentioned about Paco through turn 9 and 10. Bit of a lock up there on the right-hand side, but very nicely done through there. And he's around about the sort of lap time you want to be seeing here in Division 4. So he now comes down in towards turn number 11. Just breaking out the 100-metre board. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. That's a Red Bull just preparing up for his lap for Pariah. Now through turn 11 and now through turn 12. Don't get caught on the curb there. You'll fling yourself into the wall. 104.6 through the middle sector. Through turn 13. Only 2 more corners to go, but still over half a kilometre to go from this point onwards as he now comes in towards turn 14. Bricks again just after the 100-metre board. Turns the car in very nicely indeed. Through 14 out the kink of 15. And this is a lap of Bahrain with Pariah. What's the lap time going to be? Tell you what, 25.9 to start off the night. That might take some beating.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, the Racing Point also finishing his lap. But we can see, I mean, that's, if I'm not mistaken, 500th of a tenth,
yeah,
while the McLaren goes fastest now with 125.5, so that's 4/10 faster.
Lukey coming across the line has invalidated on his lap, and the Williams stays 13th for now. Zam is running down towards the final couple of corners. He's now called Zam, not Ham, as it says on the graphic, which I'm very glad to hear about. But Neymar is on top, 25.5, as you mentioned, the McLaren out on top by about 4.5 tenths nearly. Pariah second, Khan third, Conti fourth, and then Zam just going into fifth, and he's about 400ths of a second off Conti's time. Tekken, by the way, the only driver to get on a set of mediums. However, we're on board with the reigning Division 5 champion Jibby Storm, as he now comes around the final corner. I think it was Vapor Damon or Florian possibly invalidating their lap as they came across the line, but Jibby Storm goes sixth, so he actually goes quicker than his teammate by a tenth of a second. That'll fill him up with a bit of confidence, because you can find a good 1.3, 1.4 seconds around here as Atlas Coppo goes second. Magnus to the top.
Yeah. And watch out, because now Storm is about to cross the finish line, but he only manages to be sixth. We can see that between Pariah, Khan and Storm, they are quite close.
Very close, 600ths of a second to be exact, between Pariah, Khan and Storm out on track. It's absolutely fascinating to see. Alpha is coming through the middle sector. First time we've seen Alpha so far this season. It's a 106 flat. He's not really on a great lap here, the IFR man. The Dane, of course, being reserved here in Division 4. He is coming down in towards the final two corners, though, out on track. We'll pinpoint Neymar's change of colour on the... on his helmet, by the way. He changes helmet, of course, every week, if you're not familiar, in Division 4. But Alpha now around the final corner, comes across the line. He'll drop in behind Tekken here, 27.7. I think he can probably get a better lap out than that. Likala has invalidated, just preparing up for the lap. Vapor Damon, in the meantime, on a set of mediums, coming down into the final two corners.
Yeah, I mean, let's see what he does. But I have to say, quite bold to go on the mediums. I mean, I said some people were going to be on the mediums, but let's see, 127.6, and we can see that most of the guys in mediums have set sort of a similar lap. It's going to be interesting to see what Likala in the Racing Point does, because he's also in the mediums, and it's going to be perfect to compare the pace between these drivers that are trying their first run on mediums.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating. The car, of course, coming out of turn 10, now running towards turn 11 on the second DRS zone, of course. There's 3 DRS zones here at Bahrain. And that is, of course, one down towards turn 11, which you've just seen, one down the start-finish straight, and also one down towards turn 4. You can see it looks like a little bit of the old version of the track, where they used to go far out into the desert in the olden days in 2004, when this track was first inaugurated. But Likala now has got a Williams behind him out on track, which I think is Traxi, if I'm not mistaken, out on track behind him, and he's purple coming through the middle sector. So we'll watch Likala as he comes around the final corner now. Nice helmet, by the way, on Likala as he now comes across the line. That's Lukey going into the pit lane, but Likala goes 10th, fastest of the medium runners, but Traxi, I think he's going to go to the top, and he nearly does. He's 600ths off a second off Magnus, but with 7 minutes gone, Magnus out on top, like Australia, Traxi second, and Neymar in third. The same 3, pretty much towards the top end of the field.
Yeah, which could mean also, you know, that they could be more of a qualifying driver than a race driver. In the end, you have to know how to keep your pace consistent, so no point on being fastest on qualifying if then you're not able to keep that position. So I think it's going to be quite interesting, although I can see Taxi, you know, qualifying second. Will he finish second again?
Will he finish second again? We'll have to find out, of course, as the night progresses on. You won't be seeing Cygate, by the way, out on track. He has a qualifying ban tonight. I forgot to come on and bet the penalties received last week. 5 penalty points for Magnus for not providing any defence footage. It was a racing incident between him and Neymar in the race. Cygate, he got a qualifying ban for blocking Atlas Coppo in qualifying, which we caught on stream. And Incident 3 was investigated after the deadline and won't be looked at, so there's no position changes to the order. Of course, I would have said otherwise, I think, but Maverick's on a lap, 104.4 through the middle sector from the break. He's only got 1 point for his name. That was the fastest lap that he took, of course, in Australia last time out. Magnus is still out on top, though, as we approach the halfway stage in qualifying, and now Maverick runs over the polystyrene boards. What did the polystyrene boards do to deserve that? So Williams just get out of the way to the right-hand side of him, but Maverick across the line. He goes fourth, despite the polystyrene boards going flying. Good lap from the Red Bull. Yeah,
really good lap, and I'm now on board with Freya Pepper in the Renault, who seemed to be quite quick. I think he's gonna be on top 7 probably, or maybe I was bold. Well, close. It was close. It was close. 26 flat for the Renault driver.
We've just found out there that Paco Suarez has lost none of his touch there by trying to make a prediction, and then it falls out of the prediction by about a tenth of a second. And he goes 9th. Does Fry Pepper out on track. Welcome back, Paco. It's good to have you.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, I feel welcomed, you know. It's gonna be fun when we start with our magic spells in the race, you know, cursing drivers out with our predictions.
Oh, we will get there eventually. There's a McLaren round and a Williams round in the middle sector. There's a Williams cutting across the track. There's a McLaren that has spun. And I think that might have been Neymar just getting out of the way. Has he had contact with another driver or with the wall? I haven't had anything...
Maybe he dived.
Yeah, he might have dived. He might have just spun the corner, to be honest. But Neymar... he's got left side end plate damage to that car. I'm just going to check the race director quickly to see if there's any penalties that have been given. No penalties given, so he has just lost it out on track. I thought it might have been as Conti, yeah, his teammate just goes up into 5th. Good lap from him. We'll ride on board, though, with Khan, who went up to 3rd, actually. Khan, 125.4, his lap time. Maverick, Pariah is a tenth of a second. Oh, he improved tenth of a second, in fact, to 25.7, so good improvement from him. Storm, cautious as ever, coming down in towards the final 2 corners.
Yeah, let's see what the Red Bull driver said. I always remember him as a cautious driver in Australia. I don't know if he was like that, but right now, crossing the finish line, where is he going to be? 125.8, and that's enough to be 9th.
Yeah, he improves on his lap time there. Doesn't improve on his position there for Storm. So 25.8 for the Red Bull. And I'm just trying to pick out on somebody that might be on a lap. I think Magnus has just came across the line to start up on a lap. But in the meantime, we'll go on board with his teammate who's further ahead on him. Atlas Copo, 25.750. Only 0.005 of a second behind Pariah, who I think is coming through the final sector.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, but he's letting people by. Yeah. So right now we could stay with Atlas Copo, who seems to be improving marginally, probably on his lap. And he has some cars ahead, so he better watch out for traffic. Let's see if that Mercedes get out of his way. Doesn't seem like it.
He does. Back them into the left-hand side of the track. Beautiful.
Maybe he had some slipstream.
Yeah, I think Atlas Copa probably did get some slipstream there. Vapor Damon on outlap, of course, so inevitably he would have. Through the middle sector split, 104.4. It's purple, but I think someone behind him, Vapor Damon, has just gone quicker, even though he's on an outlap. How does that make sense? Atlas Copa, though, is improving by at least a tenth of a second. Could go in amongst Neymar Conti. There's the prediction I'm making. We'll see if I'm actually right or I'm actually wrong. As Atlas Copa runs out the final corner. You say P4, I say P5 here across the line. P5, there you go, 25.6. I haven't lost any of my old touch. Atlas Copa goes 5th. Magnus improves, 25.2.
Yeah, right now I'm on board with Traxi, who is finishing the 2nd sector right now. And I don't know if he's improving.
This is quick.
Yep.
That's
quite quick. That's the best sector done in the 2nd one. So if he keeps the lap like that and he doesn't bottle, he could be ahead of the Ferrari driver.
Traxi coming out the final 2 corners, then through 14 and then through 15. Let's see what the Williams can do. Is it enough to put him on provisional pole now? Comes across the line, and it is by 16 hundredths of a second. Traxi takes provisional pole for now with 5 minutes to go in the session. Magnus is 2nd, but we'll have to watch out for Atlas Copo, who is not on a lap time, but qualifying beginning to come to a crescendo. 5 minutes ago, Traxi out on top, Magnus 2nd. Khan still in 3rd, and he's on an out lap, and he's about to go for a lap, I think, out on track.
And I don't know if he's... This is my opinion, but I don't know if he's going to try the lap, and if he sees that he's not improving, he will get back to the pits. I don't know if he will have enough time to get into the pits, get back on track, but if he doesn't, this is the final lap. So now nerves, he's going to have to keep his nerves cool, and let's see what he's able to do.
Let's see what he is able to do. Maximus has just rejoined the session, which is good to see, but Khan...
Just on time.
Now running down, yeah, it might cause a little bit of a glitch though with the qualifying, leaving the lobby in qualifying and then rejoining, so it might cause a bit of a glitch. But Khan, now through turn 2, out of turn 3, fights the car, the Racing Point. Now coming out of turn 3, you can hear him taking very high revs up towards turn 4, just breaks after the 100-metre ball, gets the car turned in very nicely, runs out wide, given the nature of the corner, Khan through the first sector, 27.6, it's there or thereabouts, he's 300s down. Through the first sectors, he comes out of 6 and 7, and now towards turn 8, out on track, gets the car stopped, right up the gears, from first up to third, literally in the blinking of an eye, his car now runs towards turns 9 and 10. Runs wide of the first apex, will get it turned into the second. That is beautiful through there from Khan. And he's there or thereabouts, I think, in terms of lap time as he now comes down in the second DRS zone, down towards turn 11. Brakes just after the 100-metre ball, nearly at the 50-metre ball. He was that late on the brakes. Gets the car once again turned in. I don't think he's improving, though, on this lap, if I've got to be honest. Khan, right through the middle sector, he's down. Those high revs are really costing him on his lap, I think, and that's what is going to be the difference between him trying to get pole position and him not getting pole position. I think Khan is not going to improve. He may as well back out of this and come out into the pit lane to try and get another lap in. That's what I think. Khan keeping the throttle down in towards the final couple of corners, and he backs off. He does come into the pit lane. Wisest decision, I think, because he was down on the lap time. One bit of advice to give: don't take the high revs around this track, because it will cost you, with both Mercedes literally coming straight out in front of him.
Yeah, and I'm surprised. Does it put you like Alpha is on a lap or in his out lap?
It will. If he comes out in the next minute and 15 seconds, he'll be fine. He will be fine, and he'll come out on time, and we'll get 2 laps in. He'll get his out lap and his flying lap in.
No, but I mean, Alpha right now, like, is he on a lap? Because in my screen it puts like he's not on his out lap, but I would be surprised if he does like 2 out laps.
Alpha...
In the Haas. Yeah, in the Haas.
In the Haas, yeah, it's glitched on my end. I can tell you that. It's glitched on my end, and he's got 0 ERS, 100% still to be used, but it's a 106 flat through the middle sector, so I'm not really getting this at all. I think it's because Maximus has rejoined, his teammate has rejoined, and it's probably... I think he's on an outlap, so you might be right. He's on an outlap, he's backing off now, he's got plenty of room to go on to another lap. But Maximus just about to start a lap, it's caused a bit of a timings glitch, so we'll have to be careful of that, I think.
Yeah, because Neymar, I think, also was on his out lap, or maybe not. Right now, I'm so confused.
Yeah, he invalidated Neymar coming through turn 3. That's why I rode on board with him during that duration. He's now going to prepare for another lap, though. But is he going to be one of the first to come across the line? I don't think he is, because Jibby Storm is on a lap in just entering the middle sector. He's 3,000s down.
And, yeah.
And Zam's just ahead of him out on track as well. So Zam coming through the middle sector in the Renault. Let's see what he can do. 104.6, he's improving. Nearly 2.5 tenths improvement on this middle sector. And now has got to try and get ahead of Tekken. And more importantly, ahead of this McLaren of Conti, who stopped literally. Oh my god almighty, that's close. And now Traxi has got to get a move on at the final corner. It's going to give Zam a massive run down in towards the first corner. But Zam now across the line, he improves 25.9. He actually improved more than his time as Neymar has came into contact with the Williams. I think that's Lukey that is round. So I wonder if them two have just came into contact.
This is going to be controversial. We have to keep in mind that Lukey and Traxi are on the same team, you're saying.
Yeah, Neymar... Oh, Lukey's been disqualified from the session. Lukey has been disqualified from the session. I'm going to quickly go into the race director. We'll have Traxi on the background. And
probably he was going the other way around.
Going the wrong way. Yeah. Going the wrong way, and terminal damage for Neymar, which assumes to me as he's got caught on the outside curb. But Traxi's on a lap, Magnus on a lap, just starting up, and Khan has invalidated, so he's not going to be improving either. So we're on board with Traxi, who's a 10.5 up through that first sector split. Now coming down in towards turn 11. Let's see what the Williams can do. Out on track, 125.227 is the time to beat currently. Can he get into the 124s if he improves in this middle sector? Let's find out. Traxi's on a flying middle sector. He's 2.5 tenths up. He's going to be there or thereabouts. He runs wide, coming through 13, but nicely done on the apex of the corner. Now Traxi runs down towards 14. Khan is invalidated on lap, and he's got off coming through turn 8. But Traxi ran the final corner. Is this going to be the first 124 of the night? We'll see him as he runs to the line. And it is 124.993. Traxi is out on top.
But
is Magnus going to improve the one behind?
Watch out, because he improved in the first sector. Is he gonna do the same in the second one? I don't know. Right now, yes, he does purple. This is gonna be so close. Let's see what the Ferrari driver does right now. He's about to get on the final corner, as we can see his teammate just in front, doing his lap as well. As he gets, I would say, a really good exit of the final corner. What is the time gonna be?
Atlas Couple 3/10 up improves. Magnus goes to the top!
Oh my god!
By 300ths of a second. Magnus is 2 out of 2 possibly now in terms of qualifying. I don't think, unless Storm can put an absolute flying lap, or Alpha can. Alpha's not on a lap, I don't think, out on track. Storm is back into the pit lane. That is it. That is it out on track. And Magnus has taken pole position by 300ths of a second. It's 2 out of 2 for him in qualifying.
Yeah, let's see if he can keep it on the race. But oh my god, I mean, that was close.
Welcome to Division 4, everyone. Magnus, though, out on top. A 124.962 beats Traxi by 300ths of a second. And Atlas Copo in third. Ferrari back towards the top end of the field here in Division 4. Magnus and Atlas Copo starting first and third for the Ferraris. But look at the distance that both Magnus and Traxi have pulled in qualifying. Is this a case of one lap pace, or can they continue that consistency into the race?
Right now, Ferrari as a team, it's in a great position to do well in the race. And they have an advantage against Williams, since Williams only have a driver ahead, since Lucky was disqualified from the session. So I think it's going to be quite interesting to see in the race how they play the teamwork, right?
Yeah, Magnus out on top from Traxi in second in the Williams. Atlas Copo in third with Khan in fourth. Pariah rounding off the top 5. Good qualifying from him with his first race on the wheels here in TTML. Neymar in 6th with Tekken in 7th, Conti 8th, Lecala in 9th, McMaffick rounding off the top 10. Then it's Storm, Fry Pepper, Jibby Storm, Zam, top 14 separated by less than a second, Alpha in 15th with Florian 16th, Maximus 17th, Damon in 18th, Cygate of course qualifying ban, and Lukey got disqualified for going the wrong way out on circuit, and he starts right from the back of the field.
Yeah, it's gonna be, I would say it's gonna be a fun race for him.
It's gonna be... It's going to be a really fun race. He's going to be caught in a DRS train, I think, to begin off this race, unless we get an early safety car or an early VSC out on track. It is going to be fascinating, though, to myself, James Head, and Paco Suarez, taking you through the action, of course, if you're not already aware. And now we're going to be taking you through 29 laps of this Bahrain Grand Prix, and it's going to be fascinating to see how this is going to go. And of course, softs, mediums, and hards are the three tyre compounds available to the guys, and there's 3 DRS zones around this track, as I said, in qualifying. One down towards turn 1, one down in towards turn 4, one down in towards turn 11. It's going to be a fascinating night's worth of action, but you've got to have a stable setup around here, and you've got to hold a lot of consistency.
Yeah, indeed, and I have to say that Bahrain, you know, being on a train, it's quite difficult because you have the LTR, and that on turn 14, I think it is, before the sector 2 ends, right? Yeah, I think I got it right. I have to say it's quite difficult because you have the LTR, then you have to be careful of not touching the curb, so drivers will have to keep full concentration during the whole race.
Alpha, by the way, just having a look in the Discord, he's starting from the back of the field, I think, is Alpha. Yeah, there's been a bit of a glitch, so I thought Alpha is starting right at the back of the field. Saw it in the Discord first, but he is starting right at the back of the field when he qualified, I think in 15th, if I'm not mistaken. So, he's starting right from the back. There he is, he's underway, there he is, out on track, right at the back of the field. But, looking through the strategies, top 10, of course, qualifying on a set of soft compound tyres. Everyone else are boring people. They've gone onto a set of medium compound tyres, which, to be honest, I think is the best tyre to go on.
Yeah, indeed, because it gives you the chance, you know, to be quite flexible with the strategy. So, in case a safety car comes out, you have the chance to stay out or pit in for hards. So I think it's a wise choice from the drivers.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating, I think, to see how this race is going to really unfold. Storm, not cautious, and Fry Pepper, not cautious either. Both disqualified from the formation lap. It doesn't give them any sort of disadvantage out on track in terms of being there, waiting on the grid for the rest of the drivers to come around. But looking ahead, Magnus has got to get a good start off, and he's got to keep that one lap consistency and take it into the race. Traxi, on the other hand, had that in bag loads, made his way through the field really, really strong last time out in Australia, finished second. Can he start from second again? Can he get the run down in towards someone and get Magnus? And then you've got Atlas Coppo, who to try and get them both off the start. It's going to be a fascinating start, and we are just moments away from beginning Division 4 here in Bahrain.
Just before starting, really quick, you know where am I going? Who would you say that are going to end in the top 3 after the race?
I honestly think it is going to be Atlas Coppo for the win. I just think he's going to be more consistent than both his teammate and Traxi tonight. So Atlas Coppo for the win. I'm going to go Pariah second. And I'm looking further down the field for my third. I'm going to go Conti for third.
I'm going to say it really, really quickly. Atlas Coppo for the win as well. I'm going to put Pariah in second, but I'm going to put Traxi in third. That's my top 3.
Very interesting top 3. Already got a glitch to the left-hand side. Oh, and now it's gone. Right. 5 red lights then are about to go out. Hopefully here, first time, and they are. 5 red lights now on here in Bahrain for round 1. For round 2 of the championship, not round 1. Lights on, here we go. Oh, Atlas Coppo, I think, jumped the start. There was a bit of movement there from his grid position, so he's jumped the start. I'm not sure if he's got a drive-through penalty. I don't think he has, in fact. He just the lights to perfection. Down in towards turn 1, it's Magnus who leads. Traxi second, Atlas Coppo third. Pariah and Full's been a little bit of a pinch point on the inside. There's 4 wide, 5 wide in the background. There's a Renault being caught up in an instant with a Red Bull.
Sham.
Storm is round, Zam is round as well. Alpha, I think, has been caught up in that with Damon. All
a lot of movement, 4 wide into a corner. The McLarens, they have made a collision.
Both McLarens making a little bit of contact there. Conti and Neymar going through turn 6 and 7, but out in front, Lukey's picked up a 5-place grid penalty for corner. For corner couldn't gain in 1 place, but it's Magnus who leads. Traxi second, Atlas Coppo third, Tekken and fourth. Jimmy Storm's already up to 6th. Pariah had a bit of a moment there, I think, as well. Khan 5th. Oh, and he's gets side bombed down the inside by Conti. Neymar's trying to make it 3 wide off the corner. But goodness me, Pariah is hanging on for grim life, but it is mayhem on the first lap.
Yeah, plenty of action, and I have to say, I saw what Pariah did. He tried to move on the Racing Point, who had a shocking exit. But he was pushed off out, so we can see Red Bull. Yeah, Mac Maverick is out, and he's I don't know if he had damage.
Safety car out on track. Lukey from 20th position has crashed out, coming through turn 12 as well. It's an absolute disaster for the Williams. Mac Maverick, I just caught that pretty much when he spun the car. He obviously got caught on the inside curve, spun the car. We were half spinning with him, quite literally. Goodness knows how Pariah took avoiding action, and goodness knows how the rest took avoiding action as well. But a safety car has been deployed, and that means we've got typically a graphics glitch on my screen. But it is Magnus who leads the way out on track from Traxi in second, Atlas Coppo third, Tekken fourth, Khan fifth, and Jimmy Storm in
Alpha
6th. As Alpha's got a penalty for severe collision with Zam.
I don't know what happened there. I don't want to judge too quick, but he was in the middle of the straight. I don't know if he had to avoid a crash or what, but he just turned into the wall and he had damage. Quite weird what I've seen.
Very strange indeed. Cygate there with left side end plate damage as well, just ahead of him. But Zam, obviously, yeah, he hasn't got any damage, has he? No, Zam hasn't got any damage.
But Alpha made the collision with Sham. So weird right now.
Very, very strange. Unless Alpha is... No, there is Alpha out on track. I think he's tried to go past some of these guys. Didn't realise he's broke. He's got left side end plate damage. That wing plate is completely off. And he'd be hoping to try and get back running again. But Maximus has also got a little bit of... No, he hasn't. That's my eyesight there. Magnus Load on top, Traxi second, Atlas Coppo in third. Unfortunately, Paco, going to leave you for 2 minutes, but we've got the safety car, so we can keep the viewers entertained.
Okay. Well, so now it's me. We can see that the top 3 remains basically the same as they started. Traxi in second place. We saw they were quite cautious at the start, being quite cautious on the first corner, but meanwhile behind Tekken I think he moved up a place. Yeah, 3 actually, from 7th on the grid. And Conti has also made up some places. Giverstorm, 7 places up. That's quite insane. Probably the biggest loser here, Pyraya, although he has gone into the pits probably for to go onto the mediums or even hards, I would say. No, he's in the mediums. And I don't know what to say right now because soft runners have stayed out. Probably they're going to try and keep the tires until they are able to go on the hards and just do 1 stop. While medium runners will have to do for sure 1 more stop. So plenty of doubts right now on my mind. Let's see what happens. As we can see, Alpha and Cygate both making their pit stop after probably the collision they made. Well, no, actually I think Cygate didn't have any collision. Probably it was just a strategy call, while Alpha had to fix his front wing damage. So yeah, the Haas just getting into the pits and yeah, now going out. As we can see, what tires has he chosen? I think yeah, hards tires for the Haas driver. So let's hope he can recover, and probably after the race, let's hope we can get some image, some footage of what happened there, because from my point of view it was quite weird, and I don't want to judge any of the drivers involved. And let's see. Yeah, it seems, I don't know if the Haas will catch up before this lap's end, so I don't know if the safety car will come in this lap. And actually, I'm gonna see the tires that everyone has chosen, because right now we have Giverstorm, who started outside the top 10 in the medium, so that's like the dream start for him. So let's see what he does now from here, since the soft will probably wear out really quickly, and he will immediately have an advantage on those drivers. And meanwhile, behind we can see, we can see that the safety car will be in this lap. So let's hope James can get back in as soon as possible, and he doesn't miss as much action. Because right now I don't know what he's showing, so I'm gonna comment it on what I'm seeing. Let's hope that he has kept his eyes on the top 3. As we can see, the Ferrari is pushing right now. Magnus already more than a second of a gap. As we can see, the other Ferrari driver trying to have a look down the inside, but he's not close enough. As we can see behind, plenty of action, and I think James came back.
Oh! Yeah, Zam trying to go around the outside of Florian, but goodness me, Magnus got an absolutely insane start off the VSC, of the safety car restart, and now we're side by side, in fact, with Giverstorm and Khan as the yellow flag in Sector 1, and Bedford Damon is round. He's been collected with the Alpha, I think, as well, so both of them have came into a bit of contact early on, but Magnus leads from Traxi second, Atlas Coppo in third, Tekken in fourth, and Tekken's all over the back of Atlas Coppo coming through the first sector.
Yeah, I mean, insane start, and I have to say, quite weird that Alpha has been involved in every single incident that we've had in this race. But yeah, right now I have to say Atlas Coppo had a really good restart, but now it seems like Tekken is being able, to catch back, and maybe he will be able to make the overtake as Magnus 1.6 ahead. Insane.
Brilliant restart, and this is exactly what he wanted last week, I should say, in Australia. You can see some of the damage on the right hand side there of the car, but Magnus leading over the track, I should say. Magnus leading, Trexie second, Atlas Coppo third, Tekken fourth, Conti about to go side by side with Giverstorm. The 2 Dutchmen are now going to go. Giverstorm all the way across the track, and he breaks behind him. Conti. Bit of a gentleman's agreement is through, and Neymar's going to get the run as well on Giverstorm, and he goes past him, so both McLaren's through. Husky Chocolate right at the death there as Conti's through to 6th, and Neymar through, and he's up into 7th, and Giverstorm is dropping like an absolute fly off the restart.
I mean, we have to keep in mind that he's on mediums right now. The guys on soft still have tires. As we can see, yeah, Licala and Storm, right? Is if you were watching. Yeah,
Licala dived it down the inside. He got overtaken by Storm around the outside. But Licala responds, gets down the inside. Good move that by the Finn, and he's up into 14th.
as I was saying, I mean, right now, the medium runners, you know, they do not have to panic. I mean, they are on a slower tire. After 2 or 3 laps, probably the soft will start to wear out quite quickly. So they have to keep calm. Their moment in the race will come, and they will have an opportunity, you know, to make their strategy work.
I've just seen, by the way, somebody like a tweet on Twitter. It's James Boyle's father that's just liked the tweet there. Goodness me, he's a Boston United supporter, so no wonder. Frey Pepper getting through on Pariah. Let's focus on the track on action. Pariah's trying to go all the way around the outside of Frey Pepper, and they're still side by side coming out of turn 11. And then through turn 12, can Pariah get the move done on the inside? I think he can, just about. Frey Pepper's got around the outside. The Belgian and the Norwegian are still going side by side. It's absolutely insane racing, and Frey Pepper somehow pulls that off. That is absolutely remarkable racing between them both. Frey Pepper in 12th, Pariah in 13th. Best battle of the season so far. DRS now enabled onto lap 6. Magnus leads. Traxi second. Atlas Coppo third. Tekken really dropping off the back of Atlas Coppo as well. And yet Florian right on the back of Jibby Storm. Nearly using him as a bit of a bump draft down in towards Terminal, but now attacks down the inside of the Mercedes. But Jibby Storm late on the brakes. He doesn't want to give this one up for that fight. Great defensive driving by Jibby Storm. Brilliant late on the brakes. And now Zam is right over the back of Florian. Florian's trying to force him like Mazepan. Down the inside, there goes Zam. And he's through. Zam is through and he's up into 9th position. He's got a 5-place grid penalty. And Pariah and Frey Pepper are still going side by side and behind. Pariah's got the move done around the outside of turn 4. Brilliant stuff by Pariah. Frey Pepper's not giving up without a fight. He gets caught on the curb slightly. He's there down the inside line in towards turn 8. This is still side by side racing between them both. I don't think I've ever seen side by side racing like this before. Pariah, Frey Pepper are just giving each other so much room out on track. It is brilliant, and Frey Pepper is through on Pariah. Take a deep breath.
I think I'm gonna need some cardiac assistance. Oh my god.
Oh my god. And look at the gap behind Licala, Storm, McMaverick, Sidegate now joining on the back of this for 12th and 13th. But Frey Pepper and Pariah, one of the most insane battles I've ever seen around Bahrain, let alone...
And not over yet. Not over yet.
4. Not over yet, exactly. Maximus is right on the back of Florian, coming down in towards the final corner now, down towards turn 1. Zam is trying to attack Jibby Storm as well, and here comes Zam. On the back of Jibby Storm as I take a drink.
Second attempt.
Zam down the inside, can he get the move done? I think he's more committed this time as Zam. Maximus has run wide just in behind, could give Florian a run, and there's contact between the both.
I could see that one coming.
Yeah, Zam just left him short of room, I think, there on the inside. So unfortunate, it's difficult to go side by side, I think, through turn 3. In the meantime, Storm has got a great run on Licala, but it's not close enough to try and go for the move. And the yellow flag in sector 1 is still Jibby Storm. He's got that car back going again, but he's down in 17th now.
And quite surprising, I have to say, that Pariah, you know, when he didn't have DRS, he was able, you know, to make the move on the straight. But I think he has now decided to stay behind because probably he knows that they're losing quite a lot of time to the drivers ahead. As we can see that now they're getting the gap down. 1.9 is the difference now, as it was 2 point something at the start of the lap. So yeah, probably they need to catch up if they want to still be in this race.
Is Storm going to go for the move on Licala? No. Cautious Storm still living up to his name and is still in 14th position, just in behind Licala, out on track. Big difference though. Top 3 are now pulling away. Magnus is away by 1.8 seconds. Traxi second, Atlas Coppo third, trying to catch. But Tekken, he was right on the back of these guys a couple of laps ago, and he's struggling once again for race consistency. Khan is all over the back of him. Consi, in the meantime, is into the pits, and so is Neymar. Oh, and Neymar just about realises that his teammate is coming into the pit lane, and here comes Zam on the back of him down in towards turn, but Zam is not going to go wham bam for this move in 7th position. That's a terrible pun, I know.
And meanwhile behind we can see that Maximus was trying the move on Florian.
Zam's got him around the outside of turn 4. He's trying to do wham bam around the outside, but Zam not quite close enough. He's just been squeezed by Neymar, and Neymar hangs on for P6. Well worth the try though. Zam is putting him under pressure. He's the fastest medium runner out on track. Catches a bit of a half spin there, but he's the fastest medium runner. Yes, he's got a penalty, but he's all over the back of Neymar, and this is job done now. He is through. Zam is through. Yeah, those softs are overcooked and gone.
Yeah, as we can see, probably now Sham has to push like a madman, you know, like a man on a mission, because he knows that now is his moment, that he has to push, try to reduce the gap as much as he can, and yeah, now I think it's the key part of his race.
Yeah, Magnus still pulling away out in front. 2 seconds the gap to Traxi in second. Atlas Coppo there in third. Tekken, Khan, Zam, Neymar, Florian. Maximus. From at the top 9. Fry Pepper now in 10th and is pulling away slightly from Pariah, but they're not really gaining. They're not really making an impact on. But somebody that's making an impact possibly in this race is Magnus into the pit lane. And on Trisella he goes. He should make that quite easily to the end.
Yeah, Neymar as well pits. Probably he'll go to the hards as well. I mean, the soft runners that have stayed out are probably to put the hards. So I think it's going to be interesting, because I don't know if you were here when it happened.
Oh,
but
Pariah! Sorry to cut in. Pariah down the inside of Frey Pepper, and they're still going at it side by side. Coming through turn 1, and now Pariah's going to get an insane run up the hill in towards turn 4. Look at the overspeed. Look at the move. This is job done from Pariah. Surely Frey Pepper has gone very deep on the brakes though, and he tries to get the switch back. Pariah. It's still going to be side by side. Pariah down the inside.
But it made
contact. Goodness me, brilliant racing. But Frey Pepper held his own, held the position. That's good defensive driving, that.
Really good defensive driving. I mean, I have to say, these two are putting a really big show tonight. And I have to say, the medium runners ahead that pitted on the first lap, this is what they need, right? Because if Pariah and Fryer Pepper, they keep fighting, the guys behind Conti, Neymar, they're going to be blocked by these guys at some point of the race.
There will be, and yeah, Magnus joined just in behind Vapor Damon and the likes as well, so it's going to force him. Khan gets a really good run out on Tekken, who is really struggling on those tyres. He has to come into the pit lane very soon indeed. If not, he has to be forced into the pit lane by somebody, I think, out on track. But Traxi is in, Atlas Coppo is in, Tekken is in, and Khan is in as well, and now that brings Zam into the race lead. Oh, and that Khan's gone into the back of Tekken into the pit lane.
Does he have front wing damage?
That was very difficult. I was just going to wait to see. Does that front wing damage on the car? No, I think he just re-rendered him, to be honest, into the pit lane. So, gets away with it, but there might be something. Yeah, you can see no left side end plate damage. The Storm is through on Licala, running through turn 2 and 3.
Yeah, really smooth overtaking by Storm, who is now up to P6. And let's see if he has some more pace, because it seemed like it. I mean, he's on mediums and Licala on hards. And meanwhile, behind Neymar and can fight him for position.
Yeah, they are indeed. I was just going to come to that 18th and 19th. So these are for the final points card down the inside of Neymar. And he shouldn't have really attempted that, because he's just ended up in exactly the same position as he went into the corner with.
I mean, I wouldn't say it was a bold call to do that, but I mean, he was quite far away and like... They need to gain time. Like, do not fight being last.
Yeah, they need to gain time. They've got, what, 1.4, 1.5 seconds over Tekken? Tekken's within easy reach if he doesn't show that pace that we've seen him. So, Neymar and Khan have got to push. They've got to push together. They've got to work together. This is what I said in EML with a couple of the teams. Storm, though, in the meantime, down the inside and towards turn 14. No, cautious, as always. Storm on the back of Pariah, though. As now, this is 4 P5 and 6, and we should see the TTG man right on the back of the NSL man running down in towards turn 1, and this is going to be job done easily for Storm. He's not cautious this time, is he? As he gets the move done even before turn 1 approaches. But Pariah's going to look around the outside, could get switched back. No, Storm is through. The sister car is overtaken. Storm through in the Red Bull, and he's up into 5th.
I'm surprised. All of a sudden, Pariah seemed like he has lost the pace. From fighting Fryer Paper all over to now, you know, losing a lot of time.
Conti tried to dive down the inside there of Alpha as well. This is for 15th and 16th down on track. It was so close enough. He nearly got the move done, in fact. Khan and Neymar, by the way. Neymar has let Khan through. Khan is now going to be the one that pushes onto the back of Tekken.
1.1.
But 1.1 seconds, they are going to get onto the back of this train at the wrong point out on track. They should have done it a lap earlier, I think. Otherwise, they're just going to land themselves in more trouble as Magnus tries to go around the outside of Vapor Damon, then in towards turn 10. He thinks second of it. Conti and Alpha side by side in the meantime, and Conti's trying to go around the outside, coming through turn 9 and 10, and Tekken nearly goes into the back of Conti. There's a slight bit of contact there, but now Conti trying to get the move done.
It's the overtake.
And he's going to try and get the overtake, and he has got the overtake, and Conti is through. And he's up into 15th position. Once wide slightly, gives Alpha another look in. Tekken, Con, Neymar, welcome them to the parties. Neymar runs miles wide coming out of turn 11 there.
Yeah, and we can see that despite Tekken not having the best exit, and Fire Pepper
that's early.
peeps.
That's very early into spectating on a set of mediums.
But
Frey
maybe
Pepper,
I don't know, like, I mean, maybe he thinks he's gonna be ahead of this group. No way.
No way,
maybe
at all.
Overcut? I don't know,
yeah.
Maybe I think it's an overcut to these guys. No, but it's not possible. He's closer, but not enough.
Yeah, he's miles behind, but he is in clear air. That's the big important thing, I think, out on track. He's in clear air, but again, just like Neymar, just like Khan, they're going to get onto the back. Oh, and Pariah spun! Right on board with him, Pariah has spun, coming out the exit at turn 7, and he spins the car around, gets caught in the apex of the corner. I rode on board with that, unfortunately for him, and Neymar... and Pariah is round, but luckily no damage because he went side on into the barrier and he's now in clear air. But that's a massive moment from Pariah.
Yeah, no damage, but yeah, the race for him right now is over. He has lost a lot of time, and unless the safety car comes out, yeah, I feel bad for Pariah, but you could see that he was struggling a bit in the last couple of laps.
Yeah, just having a look in the comment section as well. Malk saying, have I missed him? Yes, we have missed you, Malk. Come back to TTML. Here comes Neymar on the back of Tekken, who's got damage, in fact, Tekken. Right side end plate damage on the car. Neymar is through into 16th. So I wonder where Tekken's picked up that damage.
Maybe, I mean, if Gun is ahead, probably it was contact made between those two.
Yeah, possibly. Possibly, because Tekken... was losing the positions. He was losing time, I think, at the meantime as well. Just in the background, a shot Magnus going side by side there with Vapor Damon down in towards turn 1, but Zam holding on for the lead of the race from Florian second. Maximus in third with Storm 4th, Licala 5th, McMaverick 6th, Sygate 7th, Jibby Storm in 8th, Damon in 9th, and side by side between Traxi and Magnus. This is for the net race lead, in fact, out on track, and Traxi is through on Magnus, and Magnus is going to be under pressure from his own teammate, but Traxi is through. That's important. He takes the net lead of the race.
Yeah, really important here, and I have to say, I'm looking the leaders gap, and it's been like consistent, and in the end, Florian, Sham, and Maximus, they're gonna have a fresher tire, so I think there's still plenty of race ahead. I mean, I think the race win, it's really open today.
It really is open today, and you can see Traxi, Magnus, Atlas Copra are pretty much covered by about a second and a half out on track. So that's really all you need to know in terms of the net battle. It's about 15 seconds between Zam and this battle. Oh, and Traxi's gone into the back of Damon. He tried to lunge it down the inside. I'm not sure what he was thinking, to be honest. And he has got... No, he hasn't got damage,
No.
Out on track, thank goodness for that. He just rear-ended him down into the back, coming through turn 12 and 13. But Traxi, not sure what
Maximus
he was really thinking on Damon. Yeah, Maximus and the likes are in. Florian's in. Jibby Storm also into the pits. Look at Traxi's closing speed. He's going to try and get Vapor Damon down in towards turn 1.
Not close enough.
Do not risk this at all. Goodness me, Damon's got... I thought Damon had damage. He's going to try and go over on the outside of turn 2. Traxi now on the back, surely down in towards turn 4. This will be signed, sealed and delivered. And now he'll pull to the inside line. Just wait. Patience is an absolute virtue out on track. Traxi is now through and he's into 6th. But all of that move that he was trying to get on Vapor Damon down in towards turn 1 brings Magnus and Atlas Copo into play. So he shouldn't have really tried that, I think.
Yeah, right now I think... Magnus needs to get Damon, you know, out of the way as quick as possible because the race is here. I mean, he has been losing time to Traxi. It seems like since they've been on the hards, it seems like Traxi has had some more pace than the Ferrari driver. So if he loses some more time behind the Merc, it's going to be...
Out.
Oh, and that could be a safety car.
That could be a safety car, pretty much similar to Grosjean. You called it.
Sham and
safety
Storm.
car. And Zam It's just coming around the final 2 corners now. So this is going to throw the cat amongst the pigeons, quite literally, in Bahrain. The duel in the desert not over with yet. And Zam, I think, was probably coming into the pit lane this time around. This has really saved him. Licala has picked up a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. But Zam, out on top, he is going to be in the lead of this race. But now it's these guys. They've all got to go into a set of hard. Zam is serving up his 5-second penalty as well in the pit lane. Storm is into the pit lane and behind. I think Zam's going to be held up, in fact, by Licala. Coming into the pit lane and by Storm. He's been overtaken by Storm in the pit lane. That's unbelievable. Traxi now leads. Magnus second, Atlas Copo in third. But all of these guys are now coming out on a set of hards. Licala, who was on a set of hards, now goes on to a set of mediums. Same with McMaverick. Same with Cygate out on track as well. But majority of these guys, I think, have went on to 2 medium strategies, I think.
I mean, there were some guys that started the race on soft and then went to medium. So, yeah, now people could pit again to the mediums. And I was wondering if people, you know, in the top... tell me.
Zam diving down the inside. He's picked up another 5-place grid penalty for severe collision with Maximus.
Well,
we're racing coming out the pit lane. And I'm not sure if Zam was trying to get his own back there on Maximus and try and retake that position, but whatever went on there, that is not on. This is Division 4. It is not open lobbies. He's got damage. He's got left side end plate damage on that car. It's not open lobbies. This is Division 4 of a league. Treat it with respect.
And such a... I mean, it was childish because he had almost the race... Well, not the race lead, but, you know, he was... on a really good strategy. Why would you do that, you know?
He was coming out the pit lane. He was the one coming out the pit lane. Maximus wasn't. Maximus was on the outside line. Zam was on the inside line running down in towards turn 1 because I saw it. I watched it with my own eyes. And Zam should have been the one to pull out. And he didn't. And now he's got damage. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, no words really. And I was saying that I'm wondering why the guys that were on hards, like 6 laps, 5 laps hards, like Magnus, Atlas, Copo, Conti, I was wondering if they would pit, but they are staying out on hards, and I think it's gonna be interesting to see the difference, you know, between new hards, old hards, and then the medium runners. So let's see how it plays out. But would you say that maybe Pyraya could have a chance of podium with those mediums?
Well, I'm looking more at Licala, McMaverick and Cygate, to be honest, because they're also on a set of medium compound tyre out on track. But looking at the race director, I'm going to quickly go back into the race director.
Licala has a drive-through, remember?
Yeah, Licala's got a drive-through. He's done 2 stops. So has McMaverick, so has Cygate. So my apologies. I thought they went mediums on their stint. Pariah's been in 2 stops as well, so they've actually made a pit stop. They're going to be one of the quicker guys later on. But Licala, of course, as you said, has picked up a drive-through penalty indicated by the DT next to his name. 6 seconds for Alpha, 5 seconds for Zam, and the most penalties picked up. Everyone else has been quite clean, I think. Florian, Jibby Storm, and Vapor Damon. But the big important factor is the time of this race, because it's lap 16 out of 29. Everyone out on track. We'll be waiting probably for Zam to join on at the back for the safety car to get going again. Traxi, Magnus and Atlas Copo, and Conti and Khan for that matter, and Neymar, I think they're in a really strong position, to be honest, because their tyres are not really deceiving. They're really not going away at the rate at what they would be when it would be full racing. So they're going to be using, 3% of the tyres, as opposed to 4 or 5% sometimes, depending on the tyre length around here. So I think Traxi, Magnus and Atlas Copo, personally, it's the right decision to stay out, because we saw in Division 2, a VSC, everyone came in last night, and then some of the guys who were on older tyres were at the front because you couldn't overtake.
Yeah, and I think that if this is as close, you know, as it was, as we can see safety car in this lap, as Sham caught up in the end. As we can see Racing Point almost losing it. It's Licala. Yeah.
No, it was Khan.
Khan, actually. Khan, yeah, it's Khan. I was messed up because I was looking at Storm, and I thought, yeah, Licala, I don't know why.
No.
But, yeah, same.
Oh. Yeah, Khan has dropped behind Florian now, so a bit of a glitch. Damage to Maximus and behind place grid penalty, a 5-place penalty with Storm, but Traxy holding up the field, and now he goes. Traxy goes and tries to do what Magnus did to him under the first safety car, and now Traxy's got a really good start. He's 8.5 tenths away coming across the line. A real good start by the Austrian, and now leads into the race. But Magnus second, Atlas Coppola third, Conti fourth, Florian fifth. Maximus is into the pit lane. Storm is going side by side with Neymar running down in towards turn 1. Can he get the move done? Trying to go around the outside. Neymar is a hard defender at the best of times, and he stays in P7 for now. Storm is going to try and get an insane run out of turn 2. Now through turn 3, he does get that insane run. He gets the switchback, as you say. And Storm should have their legs running down towards turn 3, but Neymar very late on the brakes. He's a very heavy defender. I did warn you, he's the heavy defender. And now Storm is now down the inside line, gets the switchback, should get the move done. Neymar is still there though, but Storm is through. Force him out wide through the nature of the corner. It's 3 wide and behind. The Cala's trying to go around the outside of Neymar, and he's been overtaken by Frey Pepper and McMaverick. Contact with Neymar out on track as well. It's 3 wide coming down in towards turn 10. This is not going to end well at all. Sidegate just falls on the inside line. Oh my god. Goodness me. Lecala's 9th with a drive through. Neymar 10th, McMaverick at 11th, and Sidegate just got bullied out of those positions, I think.
Oh, and AlphaTauri trying to make a move. I think it was Sidegate again, trying to have a sneak down the inside. And crazy start right now. I mean, plenty of action, some not logical moves from Neymar as well, but yeah, and as we can see, Traxy did exactly the same as Magnus did. Lecala's
down the inside, McMaverick down the inside of Neymar as well. Oh my goodness me, they need to make contact. Lecala needs to serve that drive-through penalty out on track. Frey Pepper across the line just in behind him. It is going to be side by side. McMaverick and Sidegate are going side by side as well. You don't really know where to turn out on track as Frey Pepper goes down the inside. The Renault, does he get the move done? Not quite. Jibby Storm down the inside of McMaverick, and that was a voice crack and a half there. But Pariah, Sidegate now going side by side with Neymar, running up the hill in towards turn 4. A little bit of hand of rage there from Sidegate as he tries to go all the way around the outside of Neymar. That's bold, that's brave, brilliant move by Sidegate. He's through and he's up into 10th.
Yeah, and meanwhile behind, Pariah was trying to have a little look down the inside.
Down the inside. Oh my god. This contact.
You could see that coming.
Yeah, you could see that coming. McMaverick tried to just get the move done down the inside, and Neymar has been spun. And unfortunately for him, the racing standards once again letting everyone down, I think.
Yeah, I mean, such a shame because we were having such a beautiful battle between some drivers. And just saying, Frey Pepper is on 9th, Pariah is on 12th on mediums. Will they have a second encounter, in this race?
A bit like a second wave. Like we're experiencing in the UK of COVID, we're experiencing a second wave. It could be a second wave in terms of Frey Pepper and Pariah out on track. But Pariah, noticeably, has got no penalty. Frey Pepper doesn't either, but Pariah's got to get through on Jibby Storm and Sidegate before he can get there. And that's the difficulty. McMaverick at Lecala into the pit lane to serve with his drive-through. As that Khan tries to close in on Florian. Down the inside goes Khan, down the inside, gets the move done. Florian backed out the move, didn't want anything to do with that at all. Khan through and he's up into 5th, and Alpha and Vapor Damon have caught into a bit of contact there through turn 1.
Damon just did a Michael Schumacher on Barrichello in Hungary, what happened there. Well, Damon just did it on the Haas. I mean, that was quite close from the wall in the main straight.
Oh, and Alpha's gone back down the inside. These two really don't like each other, I think, out on track. And Damon is back through and he's into 14th position. The racing has got to be hard. It's got to be fair, but it's got to be clean. That's what I think we can say.
The perfect example is between Frey Pepper and Pariah. That was the best racing I've ever seen on these divisions,
I mean, side by side going through turn 9 and 10. Let's just take that for example. That is how to race around the track. Here comes Zam on Pariah, and Pariah, unfortunately, has just been mullered for that position. Zam is through, wham bam, and he's through and he's up into 12th.
Just saying that I find strange that Pariah, seemed like he had the pace, but all of a sudden, he starts dropping places. Although it's true that Sham, if it wasn't for the childish mistake he made, he should be up there fighting probably for top positions.
Yeah, whether it's childish or not, I'm sure the stewards will have a look at it. Storm right on the back of Florian, though. German against Britain. Where have we seen this before? Khan as well on Conti just ahead.
2x2.
2x2 into Noah's Ark we go, or down in towards turn 1 we go. Storm has got Florian down in towards P6, and Conti has got Khan, and he's through and he's up into P4, but Khan is going to try and come back down the inside line, running in towards turn 4. These two are very clean out on track, and Khan proves that by getting the move done cleanly, and he's through and he's up into 4th. Conti will try and fight, but Khan is through and he's into 4th.
And I have to say, Storm right now in a really good position. I mean, not to win the race, but probably to try P2 as he tries the overtake round the outside. It's going to be them closest. They leave space to each other.
Oh no, it's going to be side by side and towards 9 and 10. This might not end well between them two. Storm and Conti. Vapor Damon's picked up a 5-place grid penalty for corner cutting out on track. And he spun, I think, out on track as well. Or had a bit of a half spin at least to cut the corner. And Conti and Storm are still side by side. And Conti, I think...
Straight line speed.
Yeah, really good relationship between these two. Conti and Storm. Conti back through and he's into 5th. And is defending for his life at this point.
And you said this was not going to end well, but I mean, this is what gives us, you know, the impression that they respect each other, you know, and the good racing. Beautiful battle side by side into turn 9 and 10. They kept it clean, beautiful.
Frey Pepper right on the back of Jibby Storm. And Jibby Storm right on the back of Mac Maverick. So we could possibly see 3 wide running down the straight. We're certainly going to get Conti and Storm running down in towards someone. I thought we were going to get Khan as well involved in that as well, but not quite. Gap for the lead, 4/10 of a second. Traxi leading Magnus second. Storm and Conti still fighting side by side. I think Conti made a mistake there, and he's lost the position to Storm.
It's weird because he's slowed down now, so we can see Florian fighting with Freya Pepper as he has a really good. And there's almost contact. They back wheels.
Florian just lost it, purely lost it, coming out of turn 4. And my goodness me, Fry Pepper was so lucky not to be collected there, out on track.
Yeah.
They're keeping it clean though. That was just a pure bit of oversteer that we saw from Florian's car. And Frey Pepper was nearly in the wrong place at the wrong time, but luckily he wasn't, and luckily they're still fighting for 7th and 8th.
Yeah, and we can see a Sidegate, you know, catching up on the medium, so he could have a look on these drivers. He could try the overtake. As we can see, it seems like he has good pace, unlike his teammate. And we can see that right in front, we've seen a lot of battle behind, but look at that, I mean, top 3 on DRS range. So, after all, the race is not decided yet.
Sidegate, down the inside of Frey Pepper, gets the move done, does he? Force them off track, and then Magnus is closing in on Traxi as well. Magnus to the outside line. Traxi on the inside. Traxi's not going to give up this one up without a fight as now Magnus tries to fight around the outside line. Traxi keeps the position. Great driving that by Traxi. Forced Magnus into a bit of a mistake. Forced him in a sense of solitude, I think, out on track. But now Traxi defending for his life, and Magnus stays in behind. Magnus, I think, he's got to save that ERS in behind him because he's on 16%. Traxi's on 30%. Got to save up that ERS if he wants to try and have a crack, because he's just lost now half a second to Traxi because of that.
Yeah, indeed, and I have to say, I mean, a lot of good battling during the race, and but I don't think Atlas Copo has a good chance to win the race, because Magnus and Traxi, you know, fighting each other, and despite, you know, that they lost a lot of time, Atlas Copo was not able to do a switchback or to try and overtake on the second straight. So I feel bad for him, but I don't think I think his objective right now is to stay 3rd, you know, and just secure the podium.
Yeah, Atlas Copo right in behind on Magnus. To be honest, both Ferraris could try and have a go, but Magnus has got to lap all the tyres. If I was Bonotto at this point, I would try and let them through, to be honest, because I think Atlas Copo is going to be the quicker man. Yes, he's got to lap fresher tyres, but he'll be the quicker man out on track, and that's where I think that will happen. So we go on to lap 23.
But I don't really think he has the pace to catch up to the first one.
Two Renaults side by side, Frey Pepper and Zam running down in towards turn 1, and Jibby Storm and Mac Maverick in behind as well. They're going side by side. Mac Maverick is through on Jibby Storm, and Zam and Frey Pepper are still side by side. My God, and that's the only bit of contact that he made. Frey Pepper, 3-second time penalty. I think he got caught wide coming off the apex of the corner, but Frey Pepper is 9th, Zam in 10th. Both teammates battling. I wouldn't put that down to bad driving though, if I've got to be honest. I think it was just the car.
And that, you know, one of the cars going into the gravel reminded me of Sainz, you know, in the Bahrain Grand Prix, fighting with the Mercs. So yeah, flashbacks to real life, as we can see a lot of battling. Surprised that Conti, you know, has been able to keep the position from Florian, because he had a really big lockup going down into turn 1, but he was able to keep the position after turn 4. So yeah, good job by him.
Yeah, Conti through, he's at the 6th, Florian still 7th, but we turn our attentions back to the race lead, because here comes Magnus on the back of Traxi. 0.5 of a second as they come across the line. Yeah, he's not going to be close enough. He's not using up any overtake mode, so he's not in a rush at all, Magnus. But I'm really impressed by his pace around this track. He's just caught about 0.5 second in one sector alone there. Zam and Frey Pepper now go side by side, and surely this is Zam again down the inside. And you know my catchphrase by now. Wham bam, he's through and he's into 9th.
And it seems like these two, you know, Renault teammates are gonna have this battle all night long.
Oh my god, Mac Maverick has caught them both! Mac Maverick, absolutely so late on the brakes. I saw that from an absolute mile back. Mac Maverick getting damaged. He dived down the inside. He tried to force it on the curb to try and avoid them. He did everything in his power to avoid them, but instead he's collected them both. And Mikala has been disqualified for going the wrong way, and he's had contact. He's had contact with the wall. Right side end plate damage out of turn 2.
I have to say, this reminds me of Kvyat in the Chinese Grand Prix, you know, where he collected both McLarens. So,
oh my god!
So unfortunate. I mean,
he was catching as well.
Yeah, and we were having such a beautiful battle, you know, but I mean, we cannot blame him. Like, we can, but it was a simple mistake. Like, he didn't do it on purpose. He was not going for the move, and he tried everything on his hand to avoid the contact, but he just couldn't.
Yeah, there he is with damage. Left side end plate collected with Zam, I think, who got spun in that, as now Florian tries to close down on Conti. Running down in towards turn 1. Can he do it? I don't think he has, because Conti's got the DRS just in front of him, and Florian is on the back of Conti. But it is Traxi still out in front by 3.5 of a second. Running down in towards turn 4 for the 25th time out on track. Williams against Red Bull. What? Williams against Ferrari against Ferrari out on track. Do you know what? It's because I said Storm was in 4th, and Storm's doing a phenomenal job. Yeah. 9-lap old hards. He's got 5 second worth of penalties, which might get taken off come the end of the race. It's 5.2 seconds off. I can't see him catching the leaders, but if one of these three battle, you never know.
I have to say, probably the fight for first will be decided on the final lap. I mean, probably Magnus is just waiting to have enough ERS to approach the overtake. But he has to watch out, because his teammate is not far away. I thought he would drop off, but he's still in the fight. And if any of the guys ahead make a mistake, I think Atlas Coppa will be the man to, you know, pick up the positions.
I think Magnus might have Traxi here. He's got 46% of ERS, and now uses a bit of overtake mode to try and catch onto the back of Traxi, and this is now the move for the lead of the race. He is closing in. He wants this. Magnus is going to dive it down the inside, but he's not going to commit it. But they've pulled away from Atlas Coppa in the meantime as well. It's Traxi leading, Magnus 2nd, then Atlas Coppa in 3rd, Storm in 4th, hanging off the attentions of Con, Conti, Florian, Cygate in behind as well. Zam is out of the race, and there's a tide coming into the pit lane. And Magnus, Traxi side by side coming through turn 4. Magnus trying to go around the inside of him, I think. Traxi nearly got collected. Traxi still leads.
Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be so tense till the end, like in qualifying. And I don't know who to bet for, because they're so close, you know. They're driving so smoothly, you know, just watching out for any mistake and trying to overtake, not in silly places. So I think it's gonna be quite close in the final lap between these two.
Both of us, by the way, did not predict the top 3 to be like this. The top 3, barring Traxi and Magnus swapping positions, just pretty much stayed the same throughout this race, which is absolutely amazing. Traxi the leading, Magnus second, Atlas Copper in third. We will have 3 more laps left to go out on track. Neymar, in the meantime, on a fresh set of softs, right on the back of Maximus, out on track. Haas and McLaren, I was going to say Ferrari there, Haas and McLaren right now for 14th.
Yeah, and I put Traxi in third, but just for putting him on the podium, I don't think I get a point, right?
No, you don't. Atlas Copper's got to win, I think, for you to get a point. You got to win for both of us, in fact, for us to get a point.
Yeah. And I mean, it's so weird right now, the race, because we had plenty of fighting during the whole race, and right now it seems like it's all gonna be decided on the final lap, or at least, you know, plenty of people being cautious, you know, being like Storm.
Yeah, Neymar's on the back of Maximus, running down in towards turn 1, 14th and 15th. This is a battle for. We're on board with the McLaren, as he now dives it down the inside. Oh, and he thinks the second of it. Just gives Maximus a bit of a love tap there, a little bit more contact there from them both. But Neymar actually just feathers off the throttle, lets Maximus go, gives him the time back essentially that he lost. Good driving there from Neymar, I think. Learned his lesson from last week where he made contact.
Yeah, and also, I mean, he's on soft. I mean, he's gonna get the gap back quite quickly, so... I mean, yeah, sportsmanship from him, but he knows that he has the quickest tire, so...
Tell you what, I think Magnus, out on track, should have used up a little bit of ERS running down that straight, down in towards the final 2 corners, because now, onto the final 2 laps of the race we go. He has got 0.6 of a second to gain on the back of Traxi, and for my reckoning, unless he puts in a really good lap now, is not enough to win this. I think Traxi's got his number.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I couldn't agree more. Right now, Traxi seems like he's managing the race, you know, just like a wise man, you know, just like Lewis Hamilton. And he doesn't seem like nervous about Magnus, all the opposite. He just calm, you know, not making any mistake and saving. Well, I mean, he has almost the same amount of ERS than Magnus, but bearing in mind, you know, that he has to defend from Magnus and his DRS, he's actually quite smart. But look at that. I mean, the gap is quite small. Is he gonna try? He still has a chance. He still has a chance.
Yeah, he's close, but not close enough on this time around as they come through turn 12 for the penultimate time. The duel in the desert between the Williams and the Ferrari about to begin as we go on towards the final lap of this race. And now Magnus is in striking distance on the back of Traxi. He's just literally going to try and shove him around this corner, I think, through turn 14 and 15. But now this is the opportunity. This is the time. But Traxi gets a phenomenal run out of the final corner. Use a bit of ERS mode up to good effect, but is it good enough? As now Atlas Coppo joining onto the back as well, but Magnus is going to try to the outside line. Traxi on the inside line. Traxi will be late on the brakes though. He's going to try and keep this in. Atlas Coppo on board with him. Traxi down the inside, forcing Magnus out wide, and now Magnus has lost position to his own teammate, and he's spun. Magnus, so unfortunate, has spun, and now Traxi and Atlas Coppo. One Ferrari swings. The pendulum now comes into Atlas Coppo's favour with 3/4 of a lap left to go. Storm now in third. Magnus got collected by Traxi, or he collected himself, I think, by Traxi. He spun by himself, and Traxi now has got to fend off one Ferrari. Has gone one now right on his coattails.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying it the whole race, you know, Atlas Coppo had the chance, you know, to just, if anyone made a mistake, he would be right there, and he's now all over Traxi. But is it going to be enough? He has more ERS than the Williams driver. He's going to be able to use the energy until the end of the race, basically. So let's see how he does. He's 4/10. He still have a couple of corners left. Will he be able? He's
got to use it. Neymar Maverick, by the way, having a really aggressive battle right at the back of the field. But Atlas Coppo, I don't think it's close enough. I think this is Traxi's day. No. Traxi's second position, last time out in Australia, is going to win this, surely. 6.5 tenths the gap. Atlas Coppo is closing them down, but surely this is Traxi. Around the final corner, use up the overtake mode, my man. Traxi, round the final corner, the Austrian wins in Bahrain, and Atlas Coppo has to settle for second in the end. Stormer's going to drop down because of his 5-second penalty. Magnus will be on the podium in the end. Great drive from him, despite the spin at the final, on the final lap. Fireworks now flail as Magnus finishes third, Khan fourth, Conti fifth, Storm down in sixth, then Florian Seigate, Pariah and Fry Pepper have ended up a tenth of a second of each other away, as Fry Pepper of course had penalties. Jimmy Storm 11th, Alpha in 12th, Damon in 13th, and Maximus now coming around the final corner in 14th. Maverick had Neymar's number on the final lap of the race, and now Maximus around the final corner is going to finish in 14th. Penalties of course might change. Maverick in 15th and Neymar across the line in 16th position, and that is your Division 4 Grand Prix here at Bahrain. Neymar just finishing in 16th, but it is Traxi's day. He wins out on track. Seigate gets driver of the day.
And I would say that if Stormer gets his penalty removed, because it should be removed in my opinion, you would get that at least the third spot right.
He will. He will get third spot, of course, if that is the case and his penalty does get removed. But hopefully we do get better racing next week. As I called for last week, we need better racing again going forward in the season. But it is Traxi's day. Can't take it away from him. A fantastic win out on track. Magnus pushed his way, trying to get the win. In fact, he got forced wide by Traxi. It's going to be a little bit of a breaking point, I think, in the stewards room. But Traxi wins. Atlas Coppo in second, Magnus in third. Ferrari, I think, were going to finish maybe first and third, maybe second and third, but they have indeed finished in that order. Khan in fourth with Conti in fifth, Storm in sixth, Florian seventh from 15th on the grid, and Seigate from 18th up to 8th. Pariah, good drive from him in 9th, no penalties. Fry Pepper in 10th. In 10th, I should say. Jimmy Storm in 11th, Alpha in 12th. Damon 13th, Maximus 14th, Maverick again! Fastest lap of the race. He picks up another point on top of his 15th. Neymar in 16th, Zam, Likala, Tekken and Lukey all of the race. Lukey got disqualified for going the wrong way out on track. It's classed as DNF, but I think he got disqualified. So Traxi wins, Atlas Coppo second and Magnus in third.
Yeah, I have to say, really, sort of brilliant race. I mean, we had great battles. In some part of the race. It's true that maybe the standards were not as high as they should in some part of the race as well. But I think overall we could rate highly this round, you know. I think we had interesting battles, you know, the battle for the win until the last lap, good qualifying. So yeah, I've enjoyed it. I don't know about you, but at least I have enjoyed the race quite a lot.
I've really enjoyed the race. I will give a rating to Fry Pepper and Pariah's battle 10 out of 10. Absolutely fantastic battle. Yeah, 11 out of 10. 1,000 out of 10. There you go. Yeah, Pariah and Fry Pepper's battle. Just the highlights of the race, I think. Overshadowed, I think, by the driving standards. So overall, for me, it's a 6.5 out of 10. Good overtaking, but driving standards, guys, have got to improve. If you watch at the end of the stream, watch what I say. Driving standards have got to improve in Division 4. If we get a number of stewards reports out on track, then know the wonder. Clean up your act. Whoever you are, you know who you are. Clean up your act, ready for next week. And I expect better from everyone. Simple as that.
Well, you've heard him. I mean, if you do not listen to him, then you will be punished.
Yeah, I mean, Neymar and Maverick are having to go with each other in the Discord. I think you really can blame it on both of them, if I've got to be honest for that. Just, the stewards are obviously going to take a look at all incidents out on track, but can we possibly get a word from our top 3?
I mean, your call. I would...
You can invite them in.
Okay. So I have to add them to the chat. Alright.
Yep, you've got to add them to the chat.
in a second.
The joys. But I will take everyone through the calendar that is coming up, of course, this season in TTML. When I find the calendar, that is. It's somewhere. Saved on my camera roll somewhere. Give me a second. I had it up and I've deleted it. Don't say I've deleted it. Oh no. Oh, there we are. There we are. We go to Spain next week. Oh, you're home gone free, Paco. Fantastic.
Hey!
You can tell by his voice cracking there, he is very happy.
Well, I mean, depends. Spain in real life, not such a good track, but maybe in the game it's quite different. But yeah, I think I'm gonna enjoy it either way.
No, Spain, I think, for the viewers is fantastic. As a driver, they hate the track. I don't know why they hate the track. It is such a good race to watch. I always love commentating around Spain. Probably my favourite commentary around Spain, 24 hours of F1 that I did in December last year. Absolutely brilliant, brilliant race. And I did that with Dan Hoggard, of course. And just an absolute insane, insane race. We had Thyman and the likes racing in that. And look where they are now. They're in the Challenger Series, for goodness sake. And you can catch that, of course, on a Wednesday night every month, or every week, I think. Kieran McGinley is taking you through that. And they coincide, of course, with the EML races. So that's why Dan's joining me on a Wednesday night for the EML races once every month. But looking through the rest of the calendar, we have Baku after Spain. Then it's Austria, Britain, Italy, Singapore, Mexico, Brazil, and then Abu Dhabi, which is another race that causes a bit of controversy, both in real life and indeed here in the sim racing world. We're not going to get paid enough, I don't think, to see Abu Dhabi at the end of the calendar. But we have been joined by Mr. OWR Atlas Copo. And Atlas Copo, good race from you, finishing second in the end, but it should have been third.
Yeah, I feel unlucky for Magnus, my teammate. I was just happy holding them both. They were a bit faster than me, so with the DRS I was able to stay at the back of them. So I'm very happy, extremely satisfied. Yeah.
Yeah, really good race result from you. Talk us through that race, because we had the two safety cars out on track. Talk us through what happened.
Me and Magnus and Traxi did get a very good start. We just got a gap behind very quickly. And when the safety car come out, it was a big discussion between me and Magnus if we were going to pit or not, because it was possible to go medium to the end, but we stayed out. And also after the restart, we got a new gap, and and when we pitted to hards, I think Magnus was a bit unlucky with traffic. Me and Traxi got free air, so we was able to catch up with him before he could overtake. Or else I think he would be gone. So, and with the last safety car, it saved us for a lot of traffic, and we were ahead again. So, and from there it was only stay at the back and do not get penalties. That was the only goal.
Yeah, and on the final lap of the race, I'm sure Magnus can come in on this as well. On the final lap of the race, Traxi diving it down the inside of Magnus. That must have been such a heartbreaking moment, I think, for your teammates' point of view, but also because he was challenging for the race lead.
Yeah, I've watched the replay now, and I feel like he breaks too late, and when I turn in, he just smashes into me. So I feel like he kind of ruins a victory for me right there, or a possible victory.
Yeah, I totally feel you. Honestly, I really totally feel you out on track. But Magnus, talk us through your race, because it was really good right up until that point.
Yeah, it was just when after the second restart, I was just trying to stay behind him, try not to use too much ERS, and just wait for the right opportunities. And I tried once on, I think, lap 22 or something, and then like that was kind of similar to the last race. But not the last lap, but that was clean. I watched that in replay, but I'm just a bit frustrated right now because of that last lap, really.
Yeah, I don't blame you, honestly. I think from our point of view, the driving standards do need to improve as a whole on Division 4, and I'm all for clean and fair racing, but when you get silly drivers out on track, then, yeah, that's league racing at the end of the day. But, guys, keep it clean, for goodness sake. You know who you are, who I'm referring to. Please, please, keep it clean out on track. Paco, I will give you the floor. Do you have any questions for Atlas Coppo or Magnus? Or both?
I would say first to Atlas Coppo, when you saw your teammate spinning, did you like think that you had the chance to win, or you just were like, I'm gonna stay here, I'm not gonna risk it, I'm gonna be cautious?
No, I was really hoping it was one more lap because I had a lot of ERS and a lot of fuel. So I was hoping he would get a bad exit from the crash, but he could just hold on. So, but if it had been one more lap, I think I may have a shot at winning. But I think we're going for the constructors, and I think also Odd Magnus is. If you look at every track, he's a bit faster than me, so he's obviously a good candidate for the championship. So we are driving for that. And I just want to take as much points as possible. But if Magnus could have come past a couple of laps earlier, I think maybe I would have a shot too.
I feel like I actually completely agree with you, because I thought maybe with one more lap and more ERS you could have done it. But I think P2, it's a great result for you, so congratulations for your P2.
Thank you. I'll see you later, guys.
Okay, and finally I'm gonna ask also Magnus a little question. You, in the first restart, you were in the lead and you were able to create a gap to the Williams, but on the second restart he did exactly the same to you. How would you explain what happened there? Because I think that action was probably a key part to the race.
Yeah, I had a bit cold tires at the second restart. The hard tires obviously takes a bit longer to warm up, and I had a bit cold tires, so and I felt like because before the safety car I was in a lot of traffic, and I sort of just cruised around, so I wasn't really in that full pace mode, kinda. So I needed a few laps to sort of get the pace up again. But
yeah. I mean, I have to say that depending, you were on traffic before, then the safety car, the pace of the race changes completely, and you can be surprised, but still, congratulations on your P3. Although it should have been a P2, but anyways, it was a great race from you.
Yeah, it was a fun race to drive, apart from that last incident. But it was. I hope we can keep up the competition for the next races as well.
Yeah, we are hoping as well
to having a battle until the last lap.
Yeah. This is all from my side, so I'm gonna leave it to James Head for him to finish the live stream.
Yeah, Magnus, final question before you go.
Right.
What's your expectations going into next week in Spain? How do you think you're going to get on?
Of course, my aim is to be on the podium for every race this season, really. So, of course, I haven't driven a lot on the Spain track, but hopefully I can get up to pace and compete for a podium at least, or a race win for next weekend.
It'd be good to get your revenge next week.
Yeah, well, I hope so.
I'll let you go and enjoy your evening though.
Thank you.
And that is Magnus, who I can still hear is in the party with us, which is brilliant. Yeah, that is it from us, of course. Myself and Paco Suarez taking you through the action for Division 4, Division 5, of course. James Boyle took through the action. My comments that I've been receiving from him, or from the stream for Division 5, is that he's much improved, which is fantastic, and I'm glad you're all enjoying him for Division 5 as well. Of course, we'll continue to deliver you best action, of course, in TTML, and that is, of course, TTML of Formula 2, which is up on Sunday, and that is the new commentary team of Pepsi Freak and TFI Buck, who are going to be taking you through the action for Sunday evenings. Aidan Carter dropping out on a Sunday. I think he's got other commitments. So, Pepsi Freak, have a new commentator coming in for that. You saw him debut, of course, in TTML last week. It's going to be fantastic to see him live. Got CWC, of course, both Tier 1 and Tier 2 live on Monday nights, with Mark, of course, taking you through Division 1 and Division 2 taking you through by Evil Dragon, who should be back from illness next week. And then we do it all over again Tuesday. TTML Division 1, myself and Luke Etheridge taking you through the action. Wednesday's off, which I'm very glad. TTML Sprint League, I think, comes to its conclusion, if I'm not mistaken. Or it's a week off, one of the two. Division 2 and 3 is Daniel Huggard and Mike Edwards, Aidan Carter and Conti through Division 3. And then myself, Paco, will see you next week for Division 4 in Spain. Division 5, of course, James Boyle. And then it all rolls over again. But Paco, final thoughts from you. Who was your driver of the day?
Despite the 5-second penalty, that I hope it gets removed, I would say it was Storm, because for me he did, despite starting, I think it was P8 or P7, around there, he was able to be fighting for the podium in the final lap due to the mistake, or due to the incident between Magnus and the Williams driver. And I would also give a honorable mention to the Renault driver. Right now I'm in blank. I hate myself sometimes. I'm trying to think. Pepper. Something Pepper.
Yeah, Freya
right?
Pepper.
Yeah, Freya Pepper. And Pyrrhia, because I think the battle they kept, doesn't matter the race they had, but those laps of action, I think it's an example, to the rest of the drivers.
It's a credit, honestly, to seeing the great racing, I think, that's going on out on track here in TTML. And that battle is probably one of the most insane that I've seen around Bahrain. And on this game and on any F1 game and in any commentary that I've done. So well done to them both. I think, personally, my drive of the day, Magnus, was pushing Traxi all the way to the line before that bit of contact through turn 1 on the final lap of the race. He is gutted. You heard it in his interview. He's absolutely gutted over it. But we will be back next week. Same time, same place, same commentary team. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please stay safe. Please keep at it with the rules and with the social distancing and everything like that. We are all in this together. For myself and Paco Suarez, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, goodbye.